What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are. Here we are at about $2.12, $2.13 right now. We do have some higher lows coming in, but I am anticipating that we break through this low, and we might even break through this low. How low we go is not completely clear, but I do think that Bitcoin drops about, anything from, let's just be fair, let's say like 12% to maybe something around like 14%. If Bitcoin's dropping 12% to 14%, XRP would certainly drop more. To get down to these lows, that low right there, that's a 16% drop. If Bitcoin drops 12%, okay, maybe I could see XRP dropping 16%. But if it drops 14%, I would think you go below this low. XRP has been kind of dropping at a 2-to-1 pace versus Bitcoin on a few of these days here. Not the whole way down, but a little bit of the time. 23.5% drop right there. That's about a 2-to-1 pace on a 12% drop. Maybe even close enough to a 14% drop. It's not that far off. So coming down and interacting with this prior area of resistance here in this little consolidation phase right before you topped off and you had this little this overall prevailing consolidation phase, it could happen. It's very, very common for diamond patterns to break out at high velocity, and I think that this is a diamond pattern. I think it's a very ugly diamond pattern, but I think most of the time they are. It's a diamond top, and they're known to break out at high speed and then pull back at high speed too. That's what they're known for, pulling back through the breakout point even. And maybe this happens, maybe it doesn't. Bitcoin had or has a diamond pattern, or had, I guess, I don't know, that it's broken out of, and it did pull back at high velocity, but this time it did not go through the breakout point. So it's not a guarantee that that's what happens, but it's notorious. It's like a 50-50. It happens half the time. So, well, we got one down that didn't do it. Maybe this one will do it, but it's a different chart, so I don't think those rules necessarily apply. All I'm trying to say is if XRP takes out this low, and this is something that we've really only gotten familiar with over the past couple of days, because at the top here we were assuming, we were doing the math, we were assuming that XRP would not drop at like a 2-to-1 pace versus Bitcoin, but now that it is, it kind of makes more sense that you would go down to this area. But if you keep that pace up, it is possible that Bitcoin could keep dropping down and XRP could drop less, or maybe Bitcoin drops, XRP drops more. Whenever I say it drops less, I just mean drops less than it is now, not less than Bitcoin. I suppose that's possible too, but I doubt that it drops less than Bitcoin. But it is possible that XRP could drop with Bitcoin on this next low. Maybe it finds support here. It's dropping at a faster pace than Bitcoin, and you get some kind of recovery that takes you back up here. Bitcoin's at lower prices, but XRP's at higher prices, right? Something like that could happen. A little volatility here. So if you see something like that, that could evolve or absolve. It could absolve you of going down to this area here, and that wouldn't be that wouldn't be too crazy at all. So just keep it in mind. We're not 100% sure yet if you are going below this low, but I'm just saying at this point in time, over the last couple of days, we've become open with it. It shouldn't concern you. It should have never concerned you with the notion that we were going below this low or this low, not that low, this low here, that low there, going down to this area. That's not a problem, right? $1.50, $1.60, that might be where you go inevitably to find support, and that really could happen. If not, you'll find support somewhere between $1.90 and $1.79, something like that, and that's fine, right? We were expecting that you find support on this low or around this low, a little higher low here for a while, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen at this point. I think that it's a little bit unlikely to happen if we take this price, unless you get some kind of recovery while Bitcoin's dropping. But I don't know, man. Um, 10% drop, 10.5% drop. Bitcoin's got 12% at a minimum. Doesn't seem likely. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But you never know. Volatility can come in and save the day. If we're looking at this on a daily time frame, the RSI is still firmly entrenched in this downtrend here. You've got this nice top here coming down to these nice tops here. You couldn't even reach for it. That's what they call a partial rise, where you reach for a line like this, but you can't hit it, and that is a bearish thing, even on the RSI. So here you've broken out of your momentary uptrend here. The overall downtrend has taken over, and you likely will get into the oversold area. Right now, you do have hidden bullish divergence, to be completely fair. You do have a low here in the RSI and a lower low here, with a low here in the price and a higher low there. That is hidden bullish divergence. So you might get a little pop, but today, that high that you saw at 221, you're at 212 now. That could have been it, right? Hidden divergences aren't that significant. Sometimes they are, but whenever it goes against the trend, it's even less so significant. I would think you are going to the oversold zone, and eventually this lower low will coincide with a lower low on the closing price here as well. You might even close below there today. Let's just see, what would that be? I need to make a Bitcoin video to get my mind right after this. Let's see, 5%. I mean, it could happen. Maybe not today, or but tomorrow, you know. But within the next couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised at all if you were below there. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame and go from there. If you guys don't know, I'm very, very bullish on XRP. I might be the most bullish person on XRP. I think that it's going to go to like prices as high as 15, 16 bucks by the end of May, by the end of June. And if not there, something above 10 bucks is what I'm thinking, right? Above $10, $11 or more is really kind of the prospect. But 837 at a minimum, right? I don't even know people that are talking about 837 at a maximum, but that's our minimum target. I very much do believe XRP has some legs on this next run, and this is not that video to talk about that, right? I've done plenty of videos where we've talked about that, but I might have to do that pretty soon here. But just, you know, we can go over why, but I'm not going to go in depth on that for too much. $2.13 here, 4-hour time frame. Getting oversold, double bottomed. You came up, you came right out of the oversold zone just to reject the 40. That's not a good look, guys. That's not a good look, right? If we look at this over here, you were oversold, not a double bottom like this over here, but you were oversold. You came up just above the 40. What did you do here? What did you do right there? Well, you had a little recovery, and you went down. You went lower. From a low here to a high there. That was your 1414. Now, this is a lot smaller of a fib range, so you probably actually will go to deeper extensions, but maybe you do. Maybe you do find support at your 1414 area, just below $2 there, and then you continue to rise. Only to fall later, right? Maybe you find support down here. You come up, we get that volatility I was talking about, and then that helps avoid going below this low. But I do expect that you're going to go lower. Let's see here. I mean, if you think of it this way, right, this was a pretty big move down in comparison to this move here, but the bigger candle was on this next attempt down in the oversold zone. So it's completely possible, and I would even say likely, that you're about to see some stronger movements happen to the downside here. I'm going to take this relative low, if I can get it to a relative high right here. Golden ratio support, 236 resistance, and coming down to the 1414 here to find support, just like you did here, kind of. Rejecting the 100, yeah, you likely do. I think that you will find support momentarily, not like your bottom, but somewhere around $2.02 to $1.94, somewhere in here. You'll probably catch your next bounce either there or there, and it will take you likely back to this same area, and that's encouraging because that really could help. If you get that volatility, could help absolve you of seeing this low here, or below this low here, going down to $1.60, $1.50. You might actually hold prices above $1.80. If you get something like that. But if not, if you just, you know, you find support down here, you reject right here, and you just continue your way down, you'll probably go below $1.80. Ultimately, $1.70, $1.67, $1.61. I like those targets as possibilities right now. But I also do like these targets here right above this low as possibilities as well. So it's kind of hard to say. I want to see how we interact with this next relative low. It'll be relative for like a day. You know what I mean? It's probably not going to be that relative. Let's look at this, or relevant. Let's look at this 1-hour time frame, right? Breaking out of your downtrend. You had a nice little uptick here, but you didn't do much with it, did you? You had a higher high in your RSI compared to this here, and all you did was you got a lower high, or an even high, but it's technically a lower high here. That is significant bearish divergence. Hidden bearish divergence is what that is. You basically broke out of your downtrend, and this is all you got out of it, right? Nothing at all. Smaller than even this smallest move here on the downtrend, or maybe this move here. Let's see, where is that relative to this trend here? Come on now, high to low. Right at the 382, below the 236. Yeah, you're going lower. No doubt in my mind you're going lower for now, so I guess we could just end it there, right? Inevitably, I do very much believe that XRP will see prices above 837, probably as high as like $11 or more, by the end of this next phase, which I think will end sometime at the end of May, or sometime in June. That's kind of the expectation as of now. We'll see how fast it moves. We know that XRP does not need a lot of time to move up fast. In fact, throughout its entire existence, whenever it comes to moving up, even in bear market times, it only knows one speed. Okay, it only knows one speed, and that's a very, very fast speed. So the bulls are still in charge. Don't get me wrong, but for now, they're letting the bears have their fun, and it's not much that they're going to do, right? We zoom out, we look at the weekly time frame. You got overbought as hell, and now you're in a dominant, or a semi-dominant bearish trend to the downside with the weekly RSI here, and just like how we were making fun of that 4 hour time frame where, or maybe it was the 1 hour time frame where you were in a downtrend, you broke out of it and you had a very minuscule move to the upside, right? And that shows the bears are in control on a short-term time frame. On the weekly time frame, you're getting this overbought as hell. You've moved down a lot on your RSI and you've done nothing with it, right? You've shown some bearish readings, more bearish readings than you've seen since like October, and you've done nothing with it, right? So the bulls are definitely in charge in the long term. The bears are having their fun in the short term, and I would think that probably within the next few days, guys, we're going to have resolution to the downside. We will have this low, and then from then on, April will be a month to build. May will be a month to launch, and I think June is going to be the month to find the high. Potentially. We'll see how it goes. But I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.